Modern Warfare 2 Season 4 is officially here, and there's a brand new top 5 best guns that you should be using after the update, and I'm gonna be sharing them here in today's video. But before we get to that, make sure you guys are subscribed, because all the weapons I cover in today's top 5, I will have gameplays with breakdowns of how I'm maneuvering around the map, how I'm trying to use the weapon to my advantage and things like that. And do me a solid by clicking that thumbs up button. It literally takes seconds of your guys' time and helps push the video out, gives us more exposure. Without further ado, let's get into the first class setup. Oh, reliable, the M4. No matter what the update is, the M4 always stays the same. They leave this thing alone, and it's always gonna be there for you when times get rough. So here's the best M4 class setup in MW2. Starting off, you have the 45 round magazine. If you want, you're more than welcome to rock the 60. I just think it slows you down a little too much. If you don't feel the same, go ahead and rock the 60. I also think 45 is more than enough to take out multiple enemies without having to reload. For our second attachment, we have the FSS Shark Fin 90 underbarrel. And what I love so much about this is you get aiming idle stability, which slightly increases your recoil control and accuracy at the cost of nothing. Your weapon gets more accurate with no cons, and I love that so much. And then the tuning is gonna make this even better. But before we get into that, we got attachment number 3. We have the FTAC Castle Comp, which is a very good complementary attachment to our underbarrel, because you get horizontal and vertical recoil control. And the bounce disappears, your accuracy, it skyrockets. It's such a good attachment for recoil control, and I love it so much. It's kind of a trend in today's video. Our next attachment is the High Tower 20-inch barrel. I mean, this makes the M4 a powerhouse at longer ranges. It helps it kill quicker due to the bullet velocity and damage range you get. And then we also get even more recoil control, which is kind of a bonus, because really we're throwing this on to make the weapon stronger at longer ranges. And then my final attachment is the FSS Ollie V laser. We get ADS speed, so I'm able to be a little bit more quick and snappy with my shots. I also get sprint to fire speed, which allows my weapon to come up quicker after sprinting. So a little bit of mobility. It's the only mobility I kind of have for this build. And then aiming stability. And then I'll take this to the firing range so you guys can see for yourselves just how great this all works together. Now, starting with the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and then aim walking speed. Aiming and walking is what I do religiously in any gunfight. Aiming, just strafing, it just makes it so much harder for the enemies to land shots on you. And when you're quicker, makes it even harder. Recoil stabilization is just gonna, help us with that recoil control. You can see on the tuning chart, it favors a few things here. Recoil control, mobility, and accuracy, which is completely fine by me. But the tuning on the muzzle is where the real recoil control happens. We tuned it for recoil stabilization and then recoil control on the bottom slider. And on the tuning chart, you can see it heavily favors that recoil control, and that's what makes this thing have 0 recoil. Goodness gracious, I'm done saying the word, I'm sorry. Anyways, moving on, we have the tuning on our barrel. I did recoil steadiness, I said it again, I'm sorry. And then on the bottom slider, we did damage range. And the damage range is going to allow our weapon to kill quicker and less bullets at longer ranges. And you can see in the tuning chart, heavily favors mainly the damage in the range, and that's what we're looking for. And then the tuning on the laser, I did sprint to fire speed. Once again, the weapon comes up quicker after sprinting. And the bottom slider, we tuned it for ADS speed. So we basically just enhanced the pros that the weapon came with. Now, if we take this thing to the firing range, let me lock in. Look at this. No recoil at all. Laser beam. Dude, my muzzle flash is just bugging out on me right there. But you can see, good sprint speed. Weapon raise is good. The ADS speed is pretty fantastic as well. You can never go wrong with the M4, man. This thing holds its own in literally any situation. Now for our second class setup, we have the FTAC Siege. It's classified as a secondary, but everyone runs dropped it like a primary, and it's still absolutely amazing. It wasn't nerfed in the update, which is amazing as well. So let me give you guys the best FTAC Siege class setup in MW2. So starting off, we have the 50 round drum. Another whatever you're feeling, go with it type thing. I like the 50. It's more than enough for me. It works well. If you want the extra 22 shots in your drum here, go ahead and rock it. It's all up to you. Again, I think the 50 is more than enough, but it's all personal preference. Overall, you just increase the magazine size so you can get a lot more kills without having to reload. Moving on, for the underbarrel, we have the Rebel HX. I throw this on so I can actually extend my gunfights a little further on so I can compete at those longer ranges and hopefully be successful. You get recoil steadiness, and then you also get aim walking steadiness. Like I said, I love aiming and walking. It's what I do in every gunfight, so I want my weapon to be steady and controllable while I'm doing so. For my muzzle, I have on I'm not even gonna bother trying to say that. We have the SA99 muzzle, and I threw this on so I can get bullet velocity and damage range, and it basically acts as a barrel. So I'm not using a barrel in the setup. I kind of relying on my muzzle to be my barrel, I guess, because again, on the barrels you get the bullet velocity and damage range, but I get it right here, so I'm good. And this is going to help me compete and be successful at those longer range engagements and just get those kills. I also get sound suppression, so I'm off the radar. Enemies don't know where I'm at. This weapon does have an incredibly high fire rate, so it does help out that I get recoil smoothness as well. For my laser, I have on the FJX diode, and this is basically the FSS LDV laser. You get the same aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and sprint to fire speed. We have this exact attachment on our M4. And then my final attachment is the FTAC folder. And what I love so much about this is you get recoil control and aiming stability. That's great. So my weapon's gonna be more accurate. We're gonna need it. Just take a look at the fire rate. It's cracked out. But I also get sprint speed. So it does slow me down a tad bit having a stock on like this and then having the muzzle and the mag. But increasing my sprint speed so I still feel light on my feet is a game changer. It's so nice. Now, as far as it goes for the tuning, starting with the underbarrel, I did hip walking speed and ADS speed. Now, this attachment alone is phenomenal for recoil control. So I know it's gonna be good without me having to tune it for that recoil control. So what I decided to do on the bottom side right there is do the ADS speed because I lose out on it in the cons, and same with the hip walking speed. So I made sure those cons weren't so like major affecting. And then moving on to the muzzle, I tuned it for ADS speed and bullet velocity. The recoil smoothness is taken care of due to our underbarrel. So I wanted to tune it for ADS speed because I do lose out on quite a bit of that from the magazine there and the underbarrel. So I tuned it for that. And then the bottom slider, we did bullet velocity. So I ain't gonna lie, this thing shoots quicker. That means it kills quicker. And then moving on to the laser, I did aim walking steadiness and then ADS speed. You already know why I did the aim walking steadiness. I explained it. Bottom slider, ADS speed. We want to be a little bit more quick and snappy. And then finally for the stock, aim walking steadiness and aim walking speed. Those two things work hand in hand. When I'm aiming and walking, my weapon's more manageable to control and I'm quicker. Deadly combo. Take the thing to the firing range and let me show y'all, man. Keep in mind, a secondary pistol. Let's get it. Oh, there we go. Really? Why am I even, and right here too, I shouldn't be able to do that at all. What? Now you guys see why it's in the top 5. For class item number 3, we have what is an actual SMG, the ISO 45, which is the new weapon they added in season 4. And I think this deserves a spot in the top 5. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It has great range. The recoil control is easy to manage. This is just an SMG that anyone could use, no matter what their play style or skill level is, and they could find success with it. So for my first attachment, we have the A30 Stout rear grip, where we get recoil control. Very standard. It's just going to make the weapon more accurate. Magazine, the base is 30, and for me personally, that's just not enough. And the 45 allows me to take out multiple enemies without having to reload. It slows us down a little bit, but it's not that noticeable at all, which, again, something I was really surprised about. For my underbarrel, something I love to use on all of my SMGs recently, the Merc foregrip. The accuracy and recoil control just get a skyrocket. It just increases so much. And then the pros on this, as you guys can see there, we get recoil steadiness and then aim walking steadiness. At all times, the weapon's just gonna feel a lot easier and manageable to control. And then moving on to my barrel, this is something I think makes the weapon so good, is the XLB-S barrel. And with this, I not only get sound suppression, so I'm off the radar, enemies don't know where I'm at. And this usually comes in the form of a muzzle, but I also get what the barrels give you, bullet velocity and damage range, so you can compete at those longer range engagements and find success. It's gonna kill a little bit quicker as well due to that damage range increase, the bullet velocity, that thing shoots a little quicker. Win-win situation. It's like having a secret attachment within an attachment. Love it so much. I love that integrated suppressor. And then my final attachment is the 1MW quick fire laser. So we get ADS speed, and I threw this on because I did lose out on a little bit of it due to my magazine, and this was more than enough. The laser is invisible. They literally just give me aim down sight speed and I guess go on my day with no cons. Love it so much. So now as far as it goes for the tuning, starting with the rear grip, I did recoil steadiness and then sprint to fire speed. So I got best of both worlds. The weapon's gonna be more accurate and the weapon comes up quicker after sprinting. So mobility, recoil control, how could you go wrong with that? For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did hip walking speed and then ADS speed. Very similar to how we tuned our underbarrel on our FTAC Siege. We kind of enhanced the cons and just made them less worse. The tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range, which as you can see in the tuning chart, heavily favor our range and accuracy. So we're going to be more accurate while we're firing at those longer ranges. And then the tuning on the laser, I did aim walking steadiness and then ADS speed. We put the thing on for aim down sight speed. We're going to enhance it even more, so we tune it for it. Take this thing to the firing range, man. Again, so good. I know it's a literal copy, but like I shouldn't be able to land shots back there. It's an SMG at the end of the day. You're not really looking for that, but right here it's kind of like that long range, and you're taking them out very easily, which is unbelievable. Again, ISO 45, don't sleep on it. Now for class item number 4, we actually have a shotgun because they received a huge buff for whatever reason. This is like the majority of the weapon tuning was the shotguns in general and them specifically. So I threw on my personal favorite one that gets so many one-shot, one kills. I've gotten so many high kill gameplays in MGB Dukes, and I want to share it with you guys today. So we got the BRYSON 890. For my first attachment, we have the stockless pistol grip. Massive increase in mobility. You can fly around the map. You got to get up close, man, and you're not going to do that with a slow shotgun. So we get movement speed, sprint to fire. The shotgun comes up quicker after sprinting. ADS speed, which is very important because if you're not ADSing with the shotgun, the one-shot, one-kill potential drops by a lot. So make sure you're ADSing with this. That's why a lot of our attachments are just going to give us aim down sight speed. For my next attachment, we have the Demo X50 Tactical Pump. This is also a crucial attachment to have on the BRYSON 890. You get rechambering speed. So if you do get a hit marker or you do miss a shot, the weapon's going to be a lot more forgiving because you can rechamber quicker. So you can just kind of cock back that shotgun and get that next shot out. So you know, you're just not immediately dead, and that's a game changer. You also get more aim down sight speed alongside with it, which is awesome. The next attachment we have on is the SAMX50. With this muzzle, not only are we, you know, off the radar, doesn't really matter, it's a shotgun, but we get bullet velocity and damage range, so the one-shot, one-kill potential is extended to a lot further ranges. And then same with the barrel. I threw this on because you get more bullet velocity, more damage range. That one-shot kill potential has just increased even more. Unbelievable. You also get tighter pellet spread, so your pellets that you shoot, when you shoot the bullet, the pellets are a lot tighter, so it does a lot more damage to the enemies. Once again, just more one-shot, one-kill potential. And then finally, we have on the VLK laser. Going back to the ADS speed, you need to be aiming down sights with the shotgun, and that's exactly what this gives us. For the tuning, starting with the guard, I did aim walking steadiness, because again, I'm going to be aiming and walking. And then on the bottom slider, I did recoil steadiness, because I ain't going to lie, we didn't throw anything on that gives us recoil control. There's quite a bit of bounce. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just tune this one specific attachment for recoil steadiness, just so I'm actually landing my shots. You know what I mean? Moving on to the muzzle tuning, I did ADS speed because, again, we already tuned it for the recoil smoothness on other attachment. I tuned it for ADS speed here because you do lose out on it on this attachment. And then the bottom one, I did bullet velocity so I could fire a little bit more quickly. The tuning on the barrel, recoil steadiness, because when I went ahead and tried tuning for aim walking speed, it didn't make as big as a difference as it would if I tuned it for recoil steadiness. So I just went for that. And then the bottom slider, we did damage range. Once again, we want that one kill potential. We want to get one shot, one kills. That's what shotguns are so well known for. Being broken and annoying and getting one shot at all the time. So we did that. And I know I didn't tune it much, but that's as good as it got. And then finally, the tuning on the laser, sprint to fire speed, ADS speed. So we just enhanced the pros that the weapon gave us and made it even better. Now, I would take this thing to the firing range, but the targets are too far. It's a shotgun. I mean, the one shot, one kill potential doesn't do a job. Damn, never mind, it does. And then right here, you're gonna get a hit marker. Another one, 3 shots at that range. But if you're trying to fight someone down here, you're a maniac. Don't do it. But right here, look at that. That's incredible. One shot, one kill. At a range like that, I'll take it. And then our 5th and final class setup for today is the ISO HEMLOCK. Again, this is another one of those weapons that no matter your skill level or how you play the game, you could use this and do incredibly well no matter what. So let me give you guys the best ISO HEMLOCK class setup in Modern Warfare 2. So starting off, we have the X10 grip. We get sprint to fire speed, ADS speed, very standard. I explained what they do already. For the magazine, we have the 45 round mag. The base is 30, not enough. 45. That allows you to get more crazy feeds and, you know, take out multiple enemies without having to reload. For the underbarrel, a little something different here. We got the Commando foregrip. So this is just enough accuracy and recoil control to the point the thing's a laser beam. And it's enough to the point where I'm not losing a lot on the con side of things and making the weapon super slow. Now we do lose out on a little bit of aimed on sight speed, but keep in mind we have their rear grip to kind of reestablish it. For the barrel, we have on the Fielder T50, which in my opinion is the best barrel for the ISO HEMLOCK. Huge increase in damage range and bullet velocity, so the weapon's just gonna, again, kill quicker at those longer ranges. It'll take less bullets to kill as well. And it's also nice they slide you that, you know, little bit of extra recoil control that you honestly don't even need because this thing's already a laser beam. And then we also have the Slimline Pro optic. First time we're using an optic in this entire video. Iron sights are chalked. You can't see out of them, I'm gonna be honest. I personally don't like them, and the Slimline Pro is by far the best optic in this entire game, at least for me personally, so that's why I threw it on. And then as far as goes for the tuning, I tuned my rear grip for recoil steadiness and then sprint to fire speed. Once again, best of both worlds, recoil control and speed. I tuned the underbarrel for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. So overall, just dedicated this attachment to making my weapon as accurate as possible. The tuning on the barrel, recoil steadiness and damage range. And as you can see on the tuning chart, I mean, the range, the damage, the accuracy, I mean, the whole barrel is dedicated to those long range gunfights. I mean, that's what ARs are best for, those long ranges. And we did a pretty damn good job of tuning it for that. And then the tuning on the optic, I tuned it for ADS speed. And then the bottom slider, I left it alone. You could tune it if you feel like you need to, but I like to just have it neutral, right in the middle, normal. And then what you guys see on screen is what I use for every single class setup I showcase today and beyond that. Same exact tactical, lethal, perk package, field upgrades. It's all the same. And then my go-to secondary most of the time is this FTAC Siege. Sometimes I'll throw on the hand cannon build that I've showcased maybe a few days ago, so you guys can check that out after today's video. But that's going to do it for today, man. If there's any weapons I forgot to mention in this top 5 that you think deserve to be in it, let me know in the comments which weapons you think those should be. If you made this far in the video, comment down below. Top 5 weapons, all right? I'll be liking and hearting your guys' comments, and I'll see you in the next upload. Only if you guys subscribe with those notifications on, man, all right? You guys all stay safe. Have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.